Okay, so you have reached Level Up with Janet E on YouTube. So thank you for joining us once again. We are continuing on our journey and our study of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the three Hebrew boys and who went through the fiery furnace. We went over before the fiery furnace, during the fiery furnace. Now we're going to discuss what's happening after they get out that fiery furnace. So stay tuned, you don't want to miss this. Hey there. So I am in my office today. My abode is my office / closet / prayer room / everything in terms of just kind of getting myself organized and in order. I hope you are having a blessed and highly favored day. Today we're going to continue once again our discussion on what happens after the fiery furnace. So how do you make it through the fire? So this is the final part. All right, so we've been discussing Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, what they've been going through, how they had to basically prove and show and trust in their God. And as they went through that fiery furnace, they were, tested in terms of just knowing that their God is the only God. And King Nebuchadnezzar, he's part of this story as well, as we know from the Bible. So let's start look into what happened after the fiery furnace. So what happened as they were pulled out, or King Nebuchadnezzar told them to come out the fiery furnace. So remember that King Nebuchadnezzar saw 4 men standing in the fire. So there was 3 men put in the fire. And once again, the soldiers who brought them in, the fire was turned 7 times hotter. So it was so hot that it burned alive those soldiers who had put them in the fire. So the 3 Hebrew boys was brought into the fire, or put into the fire, and they were bound when they were put into the fire. So King Nebuchadnezzar was the one who pointed out that, okay, there's 4 men in the fire, 4 people in the fire. They're all unbound. Once again, the 3 Hebrew boys came in bound, and one looks like the Son of God. So he knew and recognized the Son of God. So that's one of the powerful things, and that's something I'm going to talk about in the second part of this video. But first, I want to touch on those Hebrew boys, what happened with them. So as they came out the fire, they were brought out the fire, they were unsinged. There was not a hair out of place, is what they said. So there was no singed hair. Their clothes were not singed. The only thing that was gone or burnt off were their shackles, or what tied them up. So think about that. You are going through a journey or a challenge in life or a circumstance in life, and God knows that you're bound by certain things, either bound by generational curses, you're bound by things that are holding you back, bad habits. If you look at my previous series that I talked about, you'll see that we talk about that too. Certain things that will hold you back and not allow you to release your stuff and the things that you need to release in order to level up. Make sure you check out that series. All right, so bad habits, generational curses, things that you're holding on to, won't let go of. Those things are the things that are bounding you from being free. Free in the Lord, free to be able to fulfill your purpose, free to be able to level up. So God not only brought them out the fire unsinged and not a hair out of place, he also brought them out free. So they didn't come out with the shackles, they didn't come out with the chains, they didn't come out tied still. They came out free. So that's what God's going to do to you as you go through your tests, as you go through your experiences, as you go through your challenges. He's not only going to bring you out unsinged, where you're going to be able to move forward and move forward confidently. He's going to bring you forward. He's going to move you ahead unbound. So know that you are going to be truly set free as long as you trust in God and know that he will fulfill what he's going to fulfill, what he says he fulfills, according to the Bible and according to his word. So he's going to unbind you from anything that's going to hold you back and make you and allow you to move forward. on into your purpose. So that's the first part of when those boys came out. And once again, when they went in the fire, they were as confident about their God when they went in the fire. And then when they stepped out, they were still confident in their God. It didn't say anything like, oh, wow. It's not like they were like, wow, I'm unsinged. They knew who their God was and knew that he would take care of them. So they trusted him from beginning to end. So that's what we should do as Christians, as believers, is make sure that we're trusting in our God. He wants our trust. He wants our confidence in him, because once we put our true surrender to him, then that's when he can move, and that's when he can unbound those things that are holding us back. So that's the first part of After the Fiery Furnace. We're going to talk about the second part after this dance move. See you soon. Okay, hey there. So we are going over today something called passe. So I just want to make sure you can see my feet. So there's two types of passes in dance. We have one for ballet, and then we have one that's used for jazz. There may be more than that, but for now we're going to talk about the ballet passe and the jazz passe. So passe means to pass through. So usually when you're doing a passe, and I'm just using the chair for balance today, especially for the side passe. So if we're doing a ballet passe, the knee is to the side. So anything with passing is talking about moving the knee in a certain direction, or moving the knee up, and we're bringing the leg up to pass through that knee area on the other leg. Okay, so if we're talking about ballet passe, once again, it is to the side. So we are bringing it up, and we're holding it. So if you see, my toe is the only thing that's touching the side of the knee, the other knee. It is not the whole foot. So this is a yoga pose. This is a ballet pose. You want to make sure that you are just having the toe touch. And then we're bringing it back down. And then if we're doing a jazz passe, we're now parallel. So what do we do when our feet are parallel? Now we're bringing the foot up, the knee up to the front. So this is the pose here. The knee is going up along the side of the leg, and then you bring it back down. That foot is still pointing down, so the toes are pointing down, and you should just be able to see the profile of the side of the leg going up. Okay, so we're going to do an exercise where we're going to have 4 side passes, or 2 side passes, hold, and then 2 front passes. So 2 side passes, ballet passes, and then 2 front passes, which is jazz passes. Then we're going to do that to the right and then to the left, just for practice. And once again, with ballet passes, your foot or feet are out to the side. In a ballet pose, first position. Jazz, it is parallel. Okay, so let's start first position ballet. And we could use first position arms for this, or second position arms, excuse me, for this. So we're bringing it, and I'm going to just hold. We're going to bring it up and bring it back down. Bring it up again. Hold it and bring it back down. Then we're going to turn in those feet, and then we're going to bring the arms out again, and we're going to bring it up. Bring it back down, place it, bring it up, and remember to point that foot, point those toes as you're bringing it down. Only when your foot touches the ground again do you start the unpoint of the foot. So let's do it to the left side. Okay, so ballet feet, first position, second arms if you want to do that. We're going to bring it up to the side. And you see that that other leg is completely straight, so that should not be bending, whether you're doing jazz or you're doing ballet. Bring it up again, hold it, and bring it down. And now we're gonna flip our feet parallel, and bring it straight up, hold it, and bring it down. So it should be a fluid motion when you're bringing it up and bringing it back down. And that's how you're bringing the toe, ball, and heel down back onto the ground. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this passe exercise. You can do it in order to make sure stretching those hips. Once again, when you're lifting up in any palisade position, the hips stay in the same position. It's only the knee that's moving up. So you should not be lifting up your hip at all. It should be just the knee and your hips stay in place. All right. Okay, so welcome back. So we've been talking about after a fiery furnace and how do we make it through the fire. And we are touching on the second part of after the fiery furnace and what happened and what can we learn from it. So I want to direct our attention to King Nebuchadnezzar, and we can really learn a strong lesson from him and what he did after the boys came out the furnace. So King Nebuchadnezzar is the one who said, hey, come out the furnace. I see that there's 4 men in there. One of them is the Son of God. So once again, he recognized, and the Son of God, he recognized their God or our God. And then from there, once he brought them out, he saw that they were unsinged. He saw that they were confident and calm in their God and fully trusted in their God and his ability. So from there, that's when he made the proclamation to all the nations to say anyone who speaks against this God is going to be basically kind of cut into pieces or kind of torn apart. So it was, back in the days, they did some wild things. So, but basically you were not going to fare well if you spoke about our God. So he put out that proclamation, even though he was out there kind of serving other gods and having other images that he was idling, but he knew the power of the 3 Hebrew boys' God. He knew that there was, if their God can do this, then this is a powerful, omnipresent God that no one is going to be able to talk about. No one should be able to go against, because this God did some things, performed a miracle, multiple miracles in one instance of saving all 3 men's lives and putting himself in that furnace as well, showing himself to non-believers. So from there, we can look at that story and look at what Nebuchadnezzar did, King Nebuchadnezzar, as traction to let us know that even after we go out through the fiery furnace, once we come out on the other side, even those who were putting you through that process of the challenge, of the turbulence, of the circumstances, will have to recognize your God and what your God did for you. They may not follow through and follow that God, or they may not fully understand, but they have to recognize and understand that this is something that is powerful. So I need to be able to respect that. I need to be able to proclaim that as something that is more powerful than I can even understand or I can even gauge. So I'm not even going to try to understand it. I'm just going to make sure that, I can't do anything about it. So I got to make sure that I do what I need to do in order to lift up that God when I need to. So he put a proclamation out to the nations. No one talks about their God. Also, the 3 Hebrew boys already worked in the kingdom in having a position, and he promoted them after seeing this to a higher level in the kingdom. So think about it. He was not only appreciating or understanding or recognizing their God, he recognized them as being, these are 3 boys or 3 men who served their God faithfully. So I know they're going to serve me faithfully too. So having that servant heart of being able to really, really trust your God and surrender to your God, that's going to show through in everything that you do. So even your enemies are going to promote you without you even knowing, because it's not like they went into the fire like, okay, well, let's get a promotion. They didn't know what was going to happen in terms of what King Nebuchadnezzar was going to do, but they just trusted in their God and knew that their God would take care of them. So, and from there, they received the promotion. So trust in God, continue to surrender to God, and then he's going to promote you, whether it be a promotion at your job or whether it be a promotion someplace else, or, your name being seen somewhere above among higher levels. So these are things that he's going to infuse into your life because you trusted him. And because you trusted him, he's going to get you to that next level. He's going to level you up. Trust begets trust. So as you trust in God, he's going to continue to trust in you. As you trust in him and surrender to him, he's going to continue to give you more. So he's going to make you more accountable for things because he says, child, I know I can trust you with what I'm giving you. So know that as you continue to trust God and put everything in his hands, he's going to provide you with avenues and opportunities to be able to show who you are as a servant of God, not only just in church, but in all different avenues. In terms of the industry, I know I work in professional industry, and it's called, and from there, that's marketplace gifts, things that you do in the professional world that's showing that, in terms of organization, in terms of leadership, those are things that God uses in his kingdom, but he's also going to use it in the world as well. But you're going to have a Christian character as you're doing it. So know that no matter what you do, it's going to be something where God is going to elevate you if you trust in him. So understand that the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego is a story of trusting God. And then he's going to continue to elevate you. So trust in him. That's the foremost baseline foundation of your Christian life. Trust him. And from there, he's going to build upon you as you continue to trust him, and then he'll build upon you again. I can say 100% that is my story. As I release and trust into my trust to him and not try to do it on my own, then he takes over. So where I am weak, he is strong. So that's the one thing I want to definitely bring to you is that you don't have to do it alone. God is there to cover. God is there to protect. God is there to guide. God is there to discern, to give you discernment. So God is there to give you wisdom. So all these things he puts right into you and allows you to use if you just open yourself to him. Okay, so I hope this whole series was valuable for you. I hope it was valuable information. I want us to all continue to level up together through our purpose and through our gifts and just to the world and to each other so that we can continue to grow as a body and as a kingdom of God. All right. So I love you all the time, all day long, I always say, but all the time. And I will see you on the next level up as we start a new series about what's in a name. So this one is going to be interesting. All right. See you next time. Ta-da. Bye.